Zippity-doo-dah, this is Bear Rabbit, and I gotta tell you, I find a great laughing place listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. Zippity-doo-dah!
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libation.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this show, Rachel discusses her recent trip to Disney Hilton Head Island Resort. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced, pixie dust and Disney podcast. No, sir. We are not in the parks every day trying to tell you if those new lightsaber parts at Savi's workshop make you feel more like a Jedi.
That's right, Kev. We're here to drink, talk some Disney, and give you a little head.
That's right. So you may as well just listen up to what we serving up.
Sorry, my cat got my tongue.
You talking about the head? He said, get some head?
Yeah.
That's why
I
went
wasn't
with
expecting that. I just...
Well, you said Hilton Head. The first thing that popped in my head.
Serve it up. That's why I went with that. Serve it up the head.
To be fair, I didn't hear a word you said because I was just still stuck on that.
I'm fine with that.
I didn't know if you were done or...
No, I wanted to keep that quick. He brought that over the top. I just wanted to keep that transition.
Kevin's got the
going.
vape.
I know, I got the vape.
You like that, huh?
I was just like waiting for my opening, and I was like, "Oh, that's not it."
No,
Definitely not. Well, my name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'd be like,
And I'm Rachel.
And as always, we hope everyone out there in Mohican Land had a great week. So how's everybody doing here in studio?
We going
Good.
Disney.
Woo.
We going Disney.
I see that. Yeah.
Right.
And who'd you book that trip with? Who?
Our awesome travel agent, Rachel, of course.
Hey.
Who
Yes.
else?
Yay! I'm excited. I'm excited for you. It's going to be cool.
So excited. I cannot wait. We're going for my daughter's birthday. It's going to be a third birthday spit in Disney.
That is awesome.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Can't wait. Can't wait. She's got a couple surprises coming her way. A couple of people found that we were going, and they were like, "Oh, what about us?" And so we kind of keep adding it on, but everyone wants to keep it a surprise from Lil. So she'll find out about it.
No way.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because I didn't. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so don't mention. Well, she knows she's going. Just she doesn't know
all the people.
All the people.
Ah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I need a list of that.
Yeah, no.
I need a list of that.
Well, your ex-wife did want to come.
I was gonna say she's all up in all about. You know, if there's money spent, she's right there with her hand in the wallet. That's why you gotta check on these things.
I told you had one room, 2 beds, 1 person.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of space.
She was not hearing that.
No.
Nobody wants to see me happy, but I'm taking it anyway.
But Kirk's gonna jump in your bed, like if the price is right.
Well, then
Yeah, like Kirk and I are booking a trip down there just so we can jump in your bed.
Okay, well that's gonna be a high price.
Yeah.
That's gonna be you can't do
High
that.
price?
Yeah, high price. I need this guest list.
You want to be sure you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Wow,
fair.
with all this.
You get the guest list when we get your money.
Oh.
Wait. Well, by that, okay, let's say if I put the whole thing, I just get the whole list, so I have the option to just make my terms and stuff depending on what's going on.
Yes.
You have a say, basically.
I can't pay to be
but
terrorized.
at that point, you're just one of the people going, and your vote is just one person vote.
That's a pretty expensive vote.
I think our rooms cost a little bit more than yours.
That's fair, though. You have a lot happening.
Are y'all staying in 2 different places? Or?
Yeah, no, we're all staying at the Coronado.
Just different types of rooms.
Just different types.
Yeah.
We got
Gotcha.
the Casitas Executive Suite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited about that.
I want nachos with that suite.
Oh, well,
Yeah, for sure.
there's a lot of Coco artwork in there.
Oh, nice.
Including a nice shot of the Dorito Bridge. So you don't like that. I'll
take
send you
pictures.
Yeah.
So that'll be our foray.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That'll be what we.
That's where the gathering
Yeah,
place.
that'll be the meeting place. But everyone will have their own bed to sleep in. No one has to sleep on a sofa bed this time around.
Which is good because that
That's nice.
does lead us to interesting topics the next day.
Yeah.
Nobody slept comfortably.
Yeah.
Because I'm always one that ends up on the sofa bed, and I always end up in the chiropractic office when I get back.
Right.
Because Those things are not comfortable.
Not for a giant.
They're kind of
No.
thin, those mattresses, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm so excited for your trip down to Walt Disney World, guys. I look forward to hearing your trip report on that. But speaking of trips, how about we end our jibber jabber and go discuss Rachel's trip to Disney Hilton Head Island Resort.
Can't wait.
Welcome to the Hub, your main topic segment of the show. And I am really excited about this one, as this is a place that my family has expressed great interest in visiting. So if you guys out there follow Rachel on social media, you would have noticed that she had an opportunity to vacation at Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort in South Carolina. And just to give you an idea, this is one of those outside the theme park area DVC resorts, one that my family's always wanted to visit. The other outside the theme park area DVC resorts are Vero Beach in Florida, as well as Aulani over there in Hawaii. You guys have probably heard this.
Yeah.
But fun fact, did you know that at the same time they were opening Hilton Head and Vero Beach, Disney was also planning another resort in Newport, California, which was dubbed the Newport Coast DVC project.
I did not know that.
That was supposed to all happen at the same time because they had these grand ideas. Anyway, it got scrapped. So we're not going to hear about it. A shame. They sold off that land. That's good.
Oof.
But what do you say we hear about the one that they did open, Hilton Head? Rachel, what you got for us?
Yeah, so we just spent the last week in Hilton Head. We got there on Sunday and we left on Friday. So I thought that was a good length trip. You know, for the parks, I usually recommend people do a full week if they can. But for the beach, we didn't feel like we needed a full week. Although I could live there at this point. It was so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like we had enough time to see and do everything we wanted to with those kind of like 5 days. But yeah, it was a great trip and I'm excited to talk about it. Like you mentioned, Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort is one of 3 Disney beach resorts. It was the second one that was opened, and it was opened March 1st, 1996. So as part of that like initial group of DVC resorts. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're actually coming up like not too far from the 50-year expiration on those contracts. It would be 2046. And so there's a lot of discussion about what Disney will do with these resorts. Not as much the ones that are on their property at Walt Disney World. People feel like those, they're not sure what's going to happen to the contracts, but those resorts would stay.
I think they're going to build a prison or something.
Yeah, something like that.
In Hilton Head.
Yeah. But the 2 beach resorts, Vero Beach and Hilton Head, that are expiring, or the contracts are expiring at that time, there's some question as to whether Disney will want to keep them or not. So I hope they do, because I would love to go to this resort well past 2046. So it's built in a part of Hilton Head Island called Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove, it's not a huge island, the whole thing, but Shelter Cove is just sort of like one area of it that's actually landlocked, but it has access to Broad Creek. So it seems like you're on the water, but you're not really. You're up against this creek that's a landlocked creek. But Hilton Head's really unique. They have 4 tides a day, and every hour the tide goes up or down a full foot.
Whoa.
So they have it's a real big difference between high tide and low tide. And it happens twice a day, 2 high tides and 2 low tides.
Fun.
Yeah. So it's a cool area. Definitely like a marshy type vibe at the resort. But then Disney also bought beachfront property. It's about 1.5 miles away from the resort. They have Disney's Hilton Head Island Beach House. And so you can go to the beach house and then be right on the ocean as well. So while the resort isn't directly on the ocean, the beach house is. And so you go there for the beach part.
So how does that work transportation-wise? Do you walk, or they have shuttles that run, or how's that?
Yeah, like all of the above. So it's a little under 1.5 miles, so you can walk it, and there's walking paths the whole way, so you're not walking like on the street. They also have a shuttle that runs, the whole day that the hours that the beach house is open. And then you can also rent bikes, which is what my family does. So we biked to the beach house. And then the other option is you can just drive your own vehicle. There's a parking garage underneath the beach house. So you could just drive your own vehicle over there too.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So lots of options to get over to that beach house. And it's really easy. For us, we like the biking because it makes it kind of an adventure.
So when you get to the beach house, do they have like facilities that you can use, like shower off or whatnot, and all that kind of stuff, in case you want to get back to, you don't want to be covered in sand and everything?
Yeah, no, it's great. So they have like the beach house itself has like a full sitting area, like big lounge room. They call it like a clubhouse area. And it has like sports tables and things like that in there, TVs. And then there's really beautiful bathrooms and changing rooms and showers. There's a whole pool.
Oh, nice.
So we're not big beach people. We spend our time at the beach house in the pool, but you can see the ocean from the pool deck.
Oh, smart.
That is cool.
Yeah. And there's a full quick service restaurant at the beach house and a bar at the pool. And then there's a little walking bridge, kind of boardwalk that takes you down right to the ocean front.
Huh.
That is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice. Really nice. We liked it. And you do need your like resort key card to get in. So it is just private for guests.
Yeah, I don't want nobody cut me off in the pool bar that ain't part of the hotel.
This is correct.
This is right.
This is
yeah.
correct.
When you got to the resort, just out of curiosity, you got hit with a welcome home business, right? Like you were hearing it?
Yes. Yeah.
So like be somewhere not where there's a park and you still hear that. I think that's kind of neat.
I almost think they are like extra on that kind of like welcome home, emphasizing the Disney stuff because it's not up against the parks. And so they want to remind you that you're at a Disney property. And so I think they do it more
That's
than
awesome.
the ones at Walt Disney World.
I love it. I love it. Like a little oasis in the middle of the Carolinas.
Yeah,
A Disney
it
oasis,
really
as
is.
it were. Yeah.
Was there a Disney theme to the pool? Did you see Disney characters in and around?
The pool at the beach house is pretty like standard. It's just kind of a standard pool. It's in a big H shape. So that's kind of nice. But that's it for the beach house pool. There's the feature pool is at the resort, and that has like a big water tower water slide. It's called the Big Dipper pool, and they do like all the things that you expect at a Walt Disney World resort that they do at the pool, they do there too. So like trivia, bingo, water slide races, cannonball contests. Like the cast members are just constantly out there like doing fun things at the pool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. So it's Shelter Cove, but then the beach part is in the Palmetto Dunes area, which if you're familiar with Hilton Head is like a pretty famous part of the beach. So that's the kind of the name for the area that's there. It's the whole theme of the resort is low country, which is like what a lot of people call that Hilton Head area is the low country. And so the design is supposed to be like a 1940s era hunting and fishing resort in the low country. So it's kind of themed to the place that you're in. Kind of like Aulani is, like they're not trying to take you somewhere else. They're trying to sell you on the Hilton Head theming, like what you came for. It reminds me a little bit of Port Orleans Riverside, but more lodge-like. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it has that kind of marshy, because it's in a marsh. You know what I mean? So it's like naturally, that's where you are. There's all kinds of like Spanish hanging moss, and just that's sort of the theme of the place.
There's no alligators over there, are there?
There are alligators.
Oh, no.
Yay!
We have not seen any, but we heard, like, we went on a bunch of nature kind of tours while we were there,
Ooh.
and they talked about how they do have some alligators. Yeah.
And they angry, man, because, they got to live up to those Florida and Louisiana alligators. They got a chip on their shoulder.
They're the low country alligators.
Yeah, they're the low country alligators. Everybody talk about Florida and Louisiana, and they would talk about us.
That's a lot of pressure to put on the alligator.
It is. Poor alligator.
Yeah. So, and I guess this part I know for sure. Hilton Head Island itself is very particular about how you build and how things look. So, like, for example, when you drive by the Walmart, they have, a real small sign by the road that says Walmart, and it's not blue. It's, natural colors, and it can't be big. It's just like a small little road sign. Hilton Head has a lot of rules about how things look because they want the island to be very aesthetically pleasing, which it is. It's a beautiful place. But Hilton Head also has a really strict permitting process for taking down trees or taking down limbs. And so one of the cast members was telling us about this, that when the resort was built, Disney actually had to be very purposeful about building the resort around the existing trees because they weren't allowed to cut them down.
Mm.
And so
Oh,
a
wow.
lot of the trees on the property are 300-year-old oaks. They're like these native oaks with Spanish hanging moss, and it's really just beautiful. It feels like it's been there for hundreds of years, even though it obviously hasn't. It's been there
Right.
since 1996. But that's really cool. I love that part of it, that it just feels like it's part of the land. But that does mean that the resort is kind of sprawling, and that kind of gets me back to talking about Port Orleans Riverside. It's similar in that sense that there's like check-in lodge building that's pretty big. And then there's like a recreation hub that has the pool and that kind of stuff, the quick service restaurant. And then the rest of the resort is smaller buildings because they had to like build around these trees. They couldn't cut them down.
Wow. Okay. That explains. Yeah, I've watched
Man.
videos of this stuff. Like Jim Tracker went there and a bunch of others. And I was curious as to, I thought it was interesting how they built those buildings, and that makes sense now, I guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, but shoot, if Disney wanted to build in the place where cut whatever we want to have at it. You're Disney. Come on in.
We
Yeah,
can put these
not
trees
Hilton Head.
somewhere else.
Right. Relocate. Yeah, it's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's really cool. It makes the resort feel, just old, like it's been there for a while, but in a good way. But yeah, some of the buildings only have like 4 villas in them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some of them are really small. I think there were only 4 in the building that I was in.
Kind of cool, actually. I mean, it's not like you're going to have like a ton of people and you're stumbling by your door or something.
Yeah,
like that, I guess.
no, it's really quiet. Yeah. We actually had a pool view room that looked out onto the pool, and I was nervous about it being loud, but it wasn't loud at all.
Oh,
Really?
That's
Great.
cool.
That's a nice, relaxing, sounds like a nice, relaxing place.
It really is. Yeah, and the birds are just like bonkers. Like,
Birds?
the bird sounds are everywhere. I think, wasn't I on the phone with you, Danny, once, and you were like, "What's up with that bird?" And I was like, "They're everywhere."
Oh,
They're just
yes,
so
that is right. I was
loud.
hearing things in the background. I was like, what is that? And yeah, there were birds everywhere.
Yeah, just tons of noisy birds, but native birds. My brother-in-law that went with us is sort of a bird watcher. It's a hobby of his, and he loved looking at all these birds and naming them and telling the kids what they were. Yeah, it was great.
Oh.
Yeah. So there is kind of a backstory to the resort, but I don't know if it's not very well developed or just like no one really knows about it anymore. It kind of like fell away. But in the main lodge area, you can find references to Royce Edmonds, who was supposed to be this like fictional kind of owner of the resort in the 1940s. And like his family supposedly had been coming to Hilton Head for generations. And then they built this resort to house their family. And now they let other people stay there. And there's a fictional fish named Big Murgy. And Big Murgy is supposed to be this like giant bass that eluded Royce Edmonds. He could never catch it. And so like there's a spot for Big Murgy to be like mounted above the fireplace if he ever were to be caught. But you can't catch him.
Right.
And then so the den inside like the sitting area where the pool table is inside the main lodge, that's called Murgy's Den.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
And do they have like an empty spot over the fireplace? With
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? They do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Wow. That's going all in on the theme.
That's dark.
Yeah. So there's some of that. So that main lodge is where you check in. That's called the Live Oak Lodge. There's only like 2 check-in computers. It's small. And then they have the den up against the lodge. They have coffee in the mornings there, and then lemonade and cookies every day between 3 and 5. And then on Sunday, they did welcome home cocktails, which I thought were going to be complimentary, but they were not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we were a little surprised by that, but that's okay. So we did the cocktails there. They had a good old fashioned, and I got a salted lime lager beer from Palmetto Brewing Company that was incredible. And then I ended up drinking those for the rest of the week. So
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
that was nice.
Do
Yeah.
they sell those in stores, or is that just specially made for?
Yeah, they sell them in stores. Josh bought a bunch at Kroger.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Not super
Good on
exciting.
Josh. There you go.
Yeah.
And how was the who had the old fashioned? Would Josh have? the
Josh
old-fashioned?
had the old fashioned.
Did he like it, or did
Yeah, he said it was good.
Okay. We
Yeah.
do like our old fashions over here.
Yeah, we'll have to
For
taste
sure.
Oh,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, so there's 21 buildings that all house rooms. Like I said, so they're smaller. Some of the buildings only have like 4 rooms in them, but 21 total. The largest one is the Live Oak Lodge, and that has quite a few rooms in it. Most of the like 1 bedrooms and the studios are in that Live Oak Lodge. And then most of the rest of the resort is actually 2 bedrooms. A lot of 2-bedroom villas there. That's like the most popular room category is a 2-bedroom villa. Or I don't know if it's the most popular. It's the most populous. They have the most of them.
Okay.
And the building is 15 acres, or not the building. The property is 15 acres. And the middle of that property is the main hub, that Broad Creek Recreation area. And that has the quick service, the gift shop, the recreation desk, the feature pool, a little like kiddie waiting pool, the fire pit area where they do the s'mores, and then a recreation room where like a lot of the classes and stuff that they offer, like they offer a lot of crafts and things like that. You do those things at that recreation center.
Okay.
Oh, so cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So there's two total quick service locations. There's one at the rec area and one at the beach house.
Nice.
Okay.
That is really cool. Okay. I like that they have like facilities at both places thinking about that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So there's tons and tons of activities to do during the week. Like you really could just stay at the Disney Resort if you wanted to and not do a lot of Hilton Head stuff. They have island tours that they offer. They do nature tours, like walking nature tours, but then also like some kayak ones. And some of these are with outside companies that just sort of contract with the Disney Resort. It's like you book it through Disney, but then when you go there, it's actually like an outside company that runs it.
So kind of like a cruise, I
Gotcha,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
an
kind of like a
excursion.
cruise excursion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they had nature tours, kayak tours, trivia like multiple times every day at the beach house and at the recreation area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Family games, slide, like I said, water slide races. My kids love the cannonball contest. They did s'mores one night with Chip and Dale, came to the s'mores.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we did. The last day we were there, they did this, like they called it the Acorn Games, and Chip and Dale and Pluto led a bunch of like games with kids. So there was like a parachute game and an acorn bocce and cornhole and
Acorn
pictures and-
bocce. Back up
Yeah.
a second. That's
Acorn hole.
like just
I
like
yeah.
acorn hole and an acorn bot like bocce. Like you throw a little
Yeah.
acorn just like
Yeah, so like Chip or Dale would throw this like big acorn, and then each kid got a little acorn that they threw
Oh,
to try
okay.
to get it close to the big one.
okay, so they're not like real acorns where they're itty bitty and you had the
Yeah,
you
no,
bocce.
no, no.
Okay. That's what I was picturing. I was like, this
No,
is like a
they're
little
like
game.
toy ones.
They could do it at the
Yeah.
table or something. A little bocce,
Put a table.
acorn bocce at the table. But,
Do it in
okay,
the
that makes
corner.
sense. That makes sense.
Toy ones. So those things are all free. Not the kayak tour. The kayak tour we had to pay for, but everything else that I just mentioned was free. And then there are other things that you can do there, but they're for a fee. So like we did Mickey tie-dye. The kids made Mickey tie-dye t-shirts.
Oh,
And
cool.
that was, like $15 a kid. It wasn't bad.
Probably buy the shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like tons of crafts. So you can make a pillow out of like fleece material or paint a character or make a bracelet. Like there's tons of crafts, like ton of them. And then you can rent a bike. We rented the bikes for our entire stay. And one thing that was super cool about Hilton Head is that the whole island has really well-developed bike paths. So you can bike all over the island and you don't really even have to drive if you don't want to. Like you can get everywhere on a bike.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we did a lot of biking. We would like bike to dinner and things like that. And it's not like you're not biking on the road. They have like separate bike paths that they've put like kind of in the woods sometimes. Like it was really beautiful. We're like biking through these palm trees. Like sometimes the palm fronds like hit you in the helmet as you're
Wow.
but it was great. It was really pretty. And the island, they put these like signs along the bike path that had like facts about Hilton Head, like about the wildlife, about the area. So you could like learn a little bit about the island as you were biking to your dinner.
That's really
Nice.
cool.
Did they have like a fitness center with like a little spa or like a
Yeah,
Burn.
no spa. They had a very small room. I would not call it a fitness center. I would call it a fitness room that had like 2 treadmills and an elliptical machine and a stationary bike and then like free weights and kettlebells,
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that.
but no massage? No, like
no.
no.
There is a spa next door that you could walk to,
Oh, okay.
but it wasn't like Disney operated.
Oh.
But it's so the Disney resort is in this area called Shelter Cove. And Shelter Cove is just like the coolest like shopping and dining district, kind of like a Disney Springs, but more like island style.
Oh.
So
Okay.
there's like great restaurants, great little shops and boutiques, coffee shops, a spa, and then like further out, more closer to the road is like Whole Foods, a Kroger, a liquor store. So like you can get kind of all your essentials there. And then also enjoy, we went to this like little bakery that was so awesome right in that Shelter Cove area. There's a fantastic Mexican restaurant with great margaritas. There's a spa. I feel like we did other stuff in that Shelter Cove area too. But that was really cool being part of that. And that's just all walkable. They have live music every night at the restaurants, but then once a week they have like a whole band come and do it like right in the center of Shelter Cove. And then each of the restaurants have like appetizers and happy hour specials like during the festival with the music.
Oh, how
And that's
cool.
just once a week. Yeah. So it's a good little area. Lots of stuff to do there.
Sounds like a cleaner version of the French Quarter.
Yeah, much very clean. Yeah. Family
And safer.
friendly.
Yeah, family friendly and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to be cleaner than the French Quarter.
This is true. Doesn't take much.
Lots of like people fished off of, there's like a lot of bridges around the creek where you can fish, like
Oh,
rent
cool.
a fishing pole, and we don't fish, but a lot of people were. And we did a beer tasting at the resort. That was fun. That was through Disney. And then we booked a dolphin safari as well.
Safari?
A safari. Yeah.
Wait, what's a dolphin safari?
You get it? It's in the
It's so-
sea.
It's like, yeah, it's like a safari, but it's on a boat in the ocean. So they called it a safari.
Ah.
And we saw dolphins and jellyfish and lots of birds.
Was it like a glass bottom boat kind of thing, or?
No, it was just like a pontoon, like a big pontoon boat with a lot of seats, like benches.
Get to feed the dolphins or
No.
Oh.
Actually, they're very strict about that. Like, you are not allowed to disturb the wildlife, like in any way.
Okay.
Okay.
They're all about conservation. And yeah, you're just sort of there, like viewing the dolphins in the wild.
But you can fish.
Yeah.
You can fish. Yeah, I get, yeah.
I wonder if it was a
problem.
catch and release thing, or you have
Yeah.
to
Oh,
keep
maybe
it.
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
It could be. I don't know the rules about that because we didn't do it.
Okay.
But I know that there was a kids fishing excursion that I tried to book, but it doesn't start until May 1st. So we couldn't.
Mm.
But that one is catch and release. So
Okay.
I wonder if they all are.
Could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so those are some of the things that are available for a fee from the resort.
Okay.
But then they have a ton, like if you just walk around the property, they have stuff kind of like in these little corners that's so fun. So we were just walking around, we saw a basketball court, playground. There's a little putting green, like you can kind of do a little mini golf.
Nice.
on the
Oh,
putting
nice.
green.
Okay.
There's a butterfly garden, a bocce court.
Wow.
And there's hammocks everywhere.
Oh.
Adirondack chairs right on the marsh, so
Love
you can
it.
sit and
Ooh.
like watch it. Yeah,
Drink.
Yes,
Yeah.
I grabbed one of those Palmetto Brewing Company beers and sat in an Adirondack chair for like an hour. There was like giant chuckers, a cornhole game, just tons of stuff everywhere, like all throughout the resort that's just available for you to try. And I don't know about you guys, sometimes when I'm at resorts, they have stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's cool, except like it's missing pieces or
Yeah.
it's broken.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
nothing was like, everything was perfect, like perfectly operating. Everything was right there. You didn't have to ask for it. Like you just walked up and did it.
That's why
Yeah.
you pay extra for Disney. I mean, you know.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
nice.
It's like that when you, French Riviera Resort in Walt Disney World, they have all that kind of stuff in the back, like
Yes.
chess sets, and it's like everything's there. You could literally
Yeah, it's
walk up
just
and
like that.
play.
Yeah, when Eli and I went to the Grand over in Alabama, like we ran across a cornhole game, and we literally had to like split up the bags because that's all they had. It was like 2 red ones and 3, and it's like, okay, well, we'll just mix and match and make this work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was nice. And they have big gas grills. You know how like a lot of places you go, they'll have like charcoal
Charcoal,
grills
yeah.
if you want to use it. Yeah, no, these are like nice big gas grills. And so if you want to grill for dinner, they're just available. There's a bunch of them all over the property.
That fish you caught.
Oh, okay.
I know how.
Yeah.
Catch
Maybe
releasing
that.
it to that.
Shoot. Yeah, my dad would have been all about that. You know?
Yeah.
Like a Filipino immigrant. It's like, no, I'm not giving this back.
Well,
I earned this fish.
I'm
dang
with
it.
you.
And, and he always told me there's nothing better than fresh fish. I was like, oh, okay, fair, Dad. Thanks.
Hence your love for sushi to this day.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So is there, like, speaking of which, is there like a nice restaurant, like a Disney style,
Oh, yeah. good
like
question.
Disney run restaurant, like a signature dining kind of thing?
Yeah, no, there's just the 2 quick service, one at the pool and one at the beach house. But there's so many great restaurants right there in Shelter Cove that you don't really need it. A lot of people went Ella's, ELA, and that was like your signature dining place that was right there. And then Scott's Fish Market, people also said was kind of like signature sort of style dining. We didn't do either of those because of the kids. And our plan for the week was to just like essentially wear like sweatpants and bathing suits all week. Like I didn't even bring anything nice to wear to a restaurant. So we didn't do a ton of that style dining. We just had great casual food.
Well, like, do they have to do like a character breakfast or something? Like anything like that?
They don't have a character breakfast. No, they did have like a brunch they were doing for a while, but it wasn't available while we were there.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, they weren't doing it this time. But
okay. So like, I don't know how to ask this, but like the Disney vibes, like what kind of like Disney vibes do you get at the resort? Like when you walk around, like, oh wow, is there like topiaries? Is there characters everywhere? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah. So there's a big Mickey topiary, and then there's a Bambi and Thumper topiary. So there are some topiaries around. And then the other things, come from the quick service. So they have Mickey pretzels, Mickey premium ice cream products, Dole Whip. So you can get some of those park snacks there at the quick service places. And then I would say like the cast is just like, they're really what is the Disney flavor of that resort, is that everybody there is just like service, wonderful service. They all want to be helpful. They're all very positive. They approach you to like, how are you doing? How's your trip? Can we make any recommendations? Let me tell you about this part of the island. They're kind of above and beyond service-wise, which is great. And then I guess I don't know how to describe it really, but to me, Disney resorts have like a different feeling than other resorts. There's kind of like a richness to them, or like a depth. Anyway, and it has that. It feels like a Disney resort like I would go to at Walt Disney World. And the rooms feel very Disney. There's like a Mickey and Minnie like etched their names into the bench when you get into your room.
Cool.
And there's a WD, like Walt Disney etched into the bench as well. The artwork, there's some Disney artwork in there. And then they do other things like the cast, they put our plates down on the table when we got in a Mickey shape. And yeah, just stuff like that, like smaller stuff. The towels were in a Mickey shape on the beds, like those kinds of things that make it feel a little bit more Disney. The TV, the resort TV, is the Disney Resort Loop.
Oh, fun.
Like the same as the parks. It's like you could watch Happily Ever After on the TV at Hilton Head.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Just like you would be able to at the Disney resorts.
Do they like tell you what the activities are for the day for Epcot and everything?
Yeah, not Epcot. It has its own channel. It's like Disney Hilton Head Island Resort.
Okay.
And it's playing, the like resort TV music is playing when you walk in. And so that's kind of cool.
Well, we know Stacy won't be there.
Yeah.
No,
That's a shame. Yeah.
No Stacy.
But
I am curious though. I know like when I'm at Walt Disney World, I'm staying at a Disney resort, but then when I go off property, there's like a noticeable difference. Like I can tell when I'm off property, and I've always hear, how nice Hilton Head, that whole area is. Would you say like when you went off property, off Disney property to do those other things, did you notice a big dip in did you notice a big change like as far as quality, I guess, or how the service and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say there was definitely a difference in service for sure when you left. People were not as forthcoming to you. Like people were very nice, but you had to kind of like ask for help versus at the Disney resort, people are like actively coming up to you and checking in and saying hello and that kind of stuff, not outside Disney resort.
Okay. Okay.
So that was a difference.
Still noticeable difference. All right.
Yeah. But Hilton Head's also just everything is really beautiful there.
Right.
So like visually, it's still pretty awesome. There's tons. I didn't mention golf. Most people, I don't know about most. A lot of people go to Hilton Head to golf. We do not golf, but I know that there are incredible golf courses there as well.
yeah, you mentioned the mini golf thing, so I didn't even think to ask about the regular golf courses or anything like that. Mainly because I don't golf.
I don't golf either. Yeah. Mini golf. Yeah.
But mini golf, yeah, that to me is
like
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of like full mini golf courses that you could go to too that looked really well themed. We talked about doing those, but every day we just seemed to end up hanging out at that pool. Kids on the water slide. We got pool loungers, some drinks. Cast members were doing trivia, and like we're just hanging out. So that we had great intentions of doing other things, but we did a lot of Disney pool time.
Yeah, because she was like planning my trip while she was doing this. I'm like, I feel so bad. She's like, don't. It's good. I'm chill. I'm enjoying
Yeah,
life right now. Like, so
I got my salted what is that beer he's had?
The salted lime lager.
Salted lime. You had me curious about this beer now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. One thing so we flew into Savannah, there is an airport on Hilton Head Island, but it's really small. So there's not a lot of airlines that go to it. We flew into Savannah, Georgia. That airport is really pretty. It's small as well, not as small as the Hilton Head one. We got off the plane. We got out of security. We head down to the bag claim. Our bags are off immediately, like perfect. And Josh had gotten in line for the rental car because it is about an hour away from Hilton Head, the Savannah airport. And so for us, it just made sense to get a rental car instead of trying to get transportation. And then that way we could go get groceries. We had a 2-bedroom villa, so it was nice to have a lot of groceries. We ate in the room quite a bit. So you have that full kitchen. Anyway, so Josh goes to get the rental car. I'm picking up the bags, super fast with the bags. We go find him in the line for the rental car agency. And he's like, hey, Rachel, I think it's going to be a while. And I was like, why? We have the gold, rental car agencies. You can sign up for their rewards program or whatever. And then they you go out
walk
to the
out,
board. Yeah, you just walk out and your name's on the board. And it tells you what spot or it tells you just
what
pick
category. Yeah, you can pick. Yeah.
And you're like, let's go.
I was like, you don't know what you're doing. Move aside. I'll figure it out. And so I start looking for the board. I can't find the board. There's signs in the line that are be prepared to wait for 2 hours.
What?
What is this? Yeah. So we get through the line pretty quickly. It's not that long. And we get up to the person at the kiosk, the computer. And she's like, yeah, we have your reservation. Everything's good. You're checked in. We'll call you in 2 hours.
In 2 hours?
What does that mean? Why?
Yeah.
She goes, well, we don't have the staff right now to move the dirty cars from the airport to where we clean them and prepare them and then move them back to the airport. So we have to shuttle everybody from the airport in this dinky van that they have to the location, their satellite location where they clean and prepare the cars. And then you have to drive it back to the airport to pick up your family yourself. But it was a 2-hour wait just to get into the shuttle.
Oh my gosh. Nightmare.
Yeah. So we're starving because we had planned on doing this brunch on the island that we had booked, and it was going to be great. I was super excited for this brunch. And so we got to cancel the brunch. We're not going to make it now. We go upstairs there's one restaurant in the Savannah airport that is before security. We can't get back through security now. And we sit down at the restaurant. 10 minutes goes by. No one comes to say hello to us. The server finally comes up after 10 minutes and she just says, hey, so we have 5 things on the menu right now, and that is for real it. I'm the only server that showed up for work today, and there's one guy in the kitchen. So if you want to eat, it's going to be a real long time, but you're welcome to try to put in an order if you'd like, or you can leave. And Josh was like, well, I guess we'll leave.
Oh, God.
You got 2 choices. No meal or leave.
It was wild. It was I really never, I guess at least people were honest about it. They had this very, we're not from the South, but they had this very Southern to me way of saying it was welcome. We like having you here, except we're not going to be helping you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
oh, okay.
Because
Have a blessed day.
I could be a little rough. I'm a little rusty here. I went to school out there in Savannah, so if I'm thinking right, the airport's by Savannah State.
Yeah,
right?
it's outside of the city.
Yeah, so Savannah State's a little raw.
Yo, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when I went out there for SCAD, art college, we would run across some of these cats. And yeah, they would tell you exactly
Savannah State
where
guys.
it is. We ain't got no food here, nobody cooking for you. I'm sorry. You can wait though if you want. You might starve and feel your stomach shoot out your back by your ribs looking for a meal. I totally understand.
Savannah
I can see
State.
someone. Yeah.
Okay, that is not Southern hospitality. No.
Well, but say
were
that's
nice
far
about
out.
it.
Oh, they were
Far out.
at least polite about
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Wow. Dang.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. So I guess if we're talking about off Disney property experiences, that was not ideal.
No.
Not a good way to start your trip for sure.
Damn straight.
Not a good way to start the trip. But at least once we got on to Hilton Head Island, we were like, well, that was the worst part of the trip and now it's over. And
Okay.
now we just hang out. So that was really good.
You got your car though, right?
We did. So
Yeah.
2 hours later, we got a
Okay.
car.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
To their word.
I would have just,
So-
if I wanted that, why not just do Uber?
Yeah. So we looked at that. Uber was a little over $100 each way.
Oh.
And and the car was about the same, for 2 Uber trips, the car was about the same price. And then we'd have it all week to if it rained, we could go somewhere or getting the groceries. It was just way more convenient to have the car. So
Makes sense.
So is Savannah Airport or Hilton Head, are those the only two places you can fly in that's close to there?
Charleston is about 2 hours.
A little further, okay. But an option for sure. Bigger airport, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, those are all options. But yeah, once you get onto the island, it's like the low country lifestyle, everybody's just kind of doing their thing. It's beachy, it's southern. It's a really cool combination of cultures. Tons of seafood. We ate seafood all week.
Love it.
love it.
Yeah,
Big
it was
fan of
so
that.
great. Actually, my favorite restaurant and my kids' favorite restaurant was called Kenny B's. And it was out probably like 3 miles from the Disney resort. And it was all New Orleans Cajun food.
What?
And when you went inside, it was like Mardi Gras. There were like decorations hanging from the ceiling. And I had fried crawfish and jambalaya, and it was so good.
Ooh.
What?
I'm
Yeah.
curious.
It was so good.
Ooh,
Like best jambalaya I'd ever had. It
Jambalaya.
felt authentic. I mean, I don't know if it really was, but it felt like it. These people were straight from New Orleans that run it.
Well, so there's a chance.
I didn't even know Kenny G knew how to cook jambalaya.
Yeah, right.
Kenny B.
I know.
Oh, Kenny B.
I was
Oh,
playing.
okay.
Oh no, that Kenny B's his little country brother from another mother.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny B.
That ain't cousin.
He plays the bassoon.
Oh yeah. He ain't got favorite like
He's
his
not as
other
popular.
cousin,
Yeah, he's not because he plays the bassoon.
Yeah, okay.
That's why.
But yeah, that was great. And we ordered beignets. And so like
Oh.
lately now I've had official New Orleans beignets. They were really good. They
Oh,
were different
good.
than other
Wow.
At least
beignets
closer.
I've
Yeah. Okay.
had. Very pillowy.
Pillowy's good.
Well,
Pillowy is
that's
good.
the hallmark
That's
of
a
it. Yeah.
good thing. Yeah, for sure.
Fluff.
One day
Yeah.
you'll make it all the way down here, and we'll
I
have to
will.
show you We'll eat everything.
No, for real. Yeah. But yeah, so that was our favorite place this time. But there's a lot of great restaurants that have like Southern. We ate a lot of okra. That's different for us. We don't eat okra very often.
I like okra.
Yeah, fried okra is good.
Yeah, a lot of okra, actually Disney had delicious fried pickles on the menu.
I like fried pickles.
yeah, I've
That's
had
good.
those, yeah.
You
Especially
could
with
get them
beer.
instead of fries.
I like fried pickles with beer for some reason. Those look at my two things. I forget fried pickles. I get a beer.
You have enough beer, anything tastes good.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sweeten it up some.
It's very true.
But yeah, a lot of Southern cuisine, tons of seafood. We had oysters. I got a seafood boil in a couple of places.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, just like fresh local seafood.
nice.
Gotta love that.
And then we went to that great Mexican restaurant, San Miguel's, that had wonderful margaritas and great tacos. We got fish tacos and shrimp tacos.
Probably seafood from the islands. Too,
Yeah, I think
bet.
so. Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. It was
That sounds
great.
good.
Great food.
What was
Yeah.
the name of the it was called San Miguel's, you said?
Yeah. Yep. And that was right, like maybe a 3-minute walk from the resort. It was in that Shelter Cove area.
Oh, not bad. That sounds like a fun, relaxing time.
It does. It actually sounds like, it's kind of like you're just kicking back and taking things easy.
In the low country.
Yeah.
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 Some good
There's
food.
no like rush to book thing. Like everything we wanted to book was available. We got the kayak adventure booked and that was great. And the dolphin safari was available like whenever we wanted to do it. Yeah. You did your thing when you wanted to.
So did you walk out of there being like, I can't wait to book my next one?
Yes, we do. Yes, I definitely feel like that. We talked about how I just don't have enough vacation weeks to do all the types of trips we want. Like I would love to go there every year, but then it would mean like, well, then we can't do a cruise or
Yeah.
We need to
You
try
know, like-
Vero in Hawaii. And, you got to get your product
Yeah.
knowledge up for all the other stuff.
right. So there's just so many places we want to go that probably not every year, but we'll definitely go back.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is you're giving your kids something that I know for me, whenever it was summertime, it was always the exact same vacation. We drove the 5 hours to go to Destin, Florida. We stayed at their crappy beach and that was it. I shouldn't say crappy, but I mean, the water wasn't necessarily blue. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But that was always the exact same vacation. And that's one thing we've kind of made it a point to try to do with Lily. And it sounds like that's exactly what y'all are doing, is give them various different experiences.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's so. Were there a lot of just one last question here? Was there a lot of people on the beach? Was it crowded or was it comfy, spacious wise? How much?
Yeah. So this was our second time visiting Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort and then also Hilton Head Island. And the first time we went was in April of 2021. So it was our first trip after the pandemic. Masks were still kind of a thing. There were still some restrictions and it was busy. Like we were kind of surprised at how busy it was. And I thought like, geez, if it's this busy, with the pandemic, it must be really busy all the time. It was less busy. Like this last week we just went, it was less busy. And so I think that people maybe were going there instead of the parks. You know what I mean? Like if you had DVC points, you were like trying to go somewhere, but maybe you didn't want to be around the crowds in the parks. And so you were doing beach resorts. So it was definitely more busy before than it was this time. And so I would say, like, if you're looking for a week to go that isn't as busy, this sort of like end of April was definitely pre-season for them. Like there were a few things like the kids fishing excursion that doesn't start until May. So there were some things that weren't quite going yet. They aren't doing fireworks on the beach yet, but the weather was still pretty warm. It was warm enough for people from New Hampshire to swim. So that was good. It was like 70s. It was like really moderate, nice weather. And it was not crowded. Like we didn't need reservations at restaurants. The beach wasn't crowded. We could always get pool loungers whenever we wanted to. Like all good.
How's the weather?
Yeah, it was like, so it was 70s most days.
Mm-hmm.
The time we went 2 years ago, it was 80s. But people mentioned while we were there 2 years ago that was warmer than it normally is at that time of year.
Okay.
So I think like mid 70s is more normal for them in April.
It might be a little chilly for me, my family.
A wee bit?
Maybe.
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, we're just not used to it, right?
Yeah, the pool was great. Definitely warm enough to swim for us. It was, like mid to upper 70s during the, like after, that's like peak afternoon time.
Okay.
And then the mornings were like 60s and the evenings too. So it was like beautiful, like sweatshirt weather in the evenings, really nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was really just great. And again, not crowded. You can book this with DVC points. So if you're a DVC member.
Is that what y'all did?
We did not. This was a cash booking for us. We paid cash for our rooms. And my brother-in-law did too. And so I just wanted to mention that even if you're not a DVC member, it is possible to book it for cash. It is pretty rare that cash is available. It books up really fast.
It does.
So yeah. So like, for example, we booked this week with cash in late July. So what's that like 9 months ahead of time?
Yeah. Because I know I was trying to look at something for July for us because we've been wanting to go up there, and it's like, yeah, no, everything's booked. Because I was going to try to use points, and so the earliest I could go is like maybe January or February next year.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with the in season. Like when it's in season, it's definitely more competitive.
Good to know about the cash option, though. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. Yep. You can definitely book it cash, and I can help you book that. Or
that's awesome. Man, well, definitely thank you for giving us the insight into this resort. Sounds like a very, very relaxing experience for sure. And
yeah, absolutely.
I look forward to checking it out someday in the near future.
Yeah, I guess like if you've ever wondered, like, I wonder what it'd be like to just enjoy a Disney resort and not feel the pressure of a theme park vacation. It's like, this is it. That's how you do it right there. Oh, I didn't mention the rooms were gigantic.
Oh,
so that
really?
was another plus. Yeah, they are going to be redone this July. That might be, Kevin, why you're seeing reduced availability too, is that starting in July, they're going to redo all the rooms. And so I'm sure they're pulling rooms out of inventory to renovate them.
Okay, that makes sense because that's when I was looking is July.
Yeah, that's when it's going to start. So some of the furnishings were like the couch was like ready to go. New couches required.
Oh, good to know. Okay, they've been used. Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
They've been used. But the rooms themselves, the bones of the rooms, which are going to stay, were really spacious, like very big for Disney rooms. We had a 2-bedroom villa and we had 2 full bathrooms. And one of the bathrooms was that split concept. So it had like the big soaking tub and the shower. And then there was a separate bathroom with a toilet and a sink. And then the kids had a queen bed each, which was great for them. And then a full bathroom of their own as well.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was huge. We could have slept 9 people in our villa, but it was just the 4 of us. So we had tons and tons of space. The balconies are these like oversized balconies that have big rocking chairs on them. And then they also have a full dining table outside with benches. So you could eat outside on your porch if you wanted to.
You could barbecue that fish and then eat it on your porch.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I don't like about like when you get those smaller rooms when you go to, it's like you feel like you're kind of all on top of one another. Being able to spread out is so nice.
That probably explains why there's only like 4 units in like a building, like you were saying.
Yeah,
because they're so
they're
spacious.
huge.
Yeah,
so I like that. That's what I like about Old Key West is it's so spacious too.
Yes, it's similar to that square footage because those were all those DVC properties built around the same time.
Yeah, those early 90s. Yeah.
It reminded me like when we stayed at the Polynesian, we just had a regular room, but I was just struck at how big the rooms were at the Polynesian. So it was, one of the first resorts, and they were thinking about making the rooms wonderful, not about how many they could pack in on the property,
Quality versus quantity, yeah.
Yeah, so you get those like really big spaces at the Polynesian, and I feel like this is very similar because it was one of those first DVC resorts. They were really focused on making the spaces comfortable and spacious.
Cool.
They are.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you guys want to book this vacation, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that little trip report about Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort. Look, if you want to learn more about us, go to magicourway.com. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Plus, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions, you could do so through the following ways. First, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, or call or send us a text message. Yes, I did say text us. That's 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815
MOWEEKEND
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people who do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Eli, what's up, sir?
Yes, as always, I appreciate the love and support that you give me and the Ivory Comics website. So that's www.ivorycomics.com. We can see the work that I have there that are fully colored comics. The only ad for them is the Magic Our Way podcast. Nothing else. So you get all that good value for your buck. So Project Geisha, Savages, and the Molly Be Damned, all right there for you to purchase. You also get a link to this podcast so you never miss a beat, never miss an episode. Get all that synergy in your life. So again, appreciate the support. That's www.ivorycomics.com. Facebook, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, loving to meet you. If you're a bot, it's too early to greet you. Ain't nobody trying to give away their credit card information to their grandma. Nobody want all of that in their life. Also, on Facebook, Project Geisha has a page on Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, I'm right there as well, posting up the hearts and the likes, Ivory504. And of course, on Twitter, I can be found at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, you just bring me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation to Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort, you can do so with Rachel. Rachel, what you got?
Yes, I would love to book you to get to Hilton Head or Walt Disney World or Universal or cruise lines or Disneyland, all of those places and more. You can find me at Rachel, Rachel, at magicourway.com. You can also find me on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at the letter R, Family Magic. So R Family Magic, all one word. And you can also call me or send me a text. My number is 978-432-WISH, and we'll get you all set up for a relaxing and memorable family vacation at no extra cost to you. Happy to do it. Honored to help.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, as soon as we get done with this show, I need to get her to book somebody else to come on our trip with us.
Woohoo! There's somebody else at this I need to watch.
In your room.
Huh?
Yeah.
My price is getting cut in fourths, right?
We talking later about this.
Oh,
I want, yeah.
okay.
Let's see what this is. Now,
Intrigue.
Right, could be something.
Guys, look, if you want to support all of this, you can find all those means to do so on our website, magicourway.com. If you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/magicourway. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. Some weekends, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
I'm Danny.
Magic out.